Hey everyone, it's Ben Hardy here, and in today's video we're reviewing the all-new 2024 Subaru Impreza. Before we get in this video, I want to give a huge shout out and thank you to the Doug Smith Subaru here in American Fork, Utah for giving me some time with this Impreza. I'm going to include a link to their website in the description down below so you can check out what they have currently. And by the way, this particular Impreza is available for sale for the time being. And then on a side note, if you want to save time and money the next time you purchase a car, link to my car buying guide in the description down below. Let's get into it. Powering the Impreza is a naturally aspirated 2-liter flat 4-cylinder that goes through a CVT automatic. Fuel economy is 27 around town and then 34 on the highway, with power outputs being 152 horsepower and then 145 pound-feet of torque. Now, before we go over the front end, I do want to mention, if you want to see more videos just like this, then I recommend you subscribe because I post content every single day. So starting with the hood, I love this little like box thing there in the center. I think it looks really cool. And then coming down below, you guys can see even the base car gets really nice headlights. And then you can see we don't have fog lights, but it kind of looks like a propeller almost. It's interesting. And then notice the grille is darker. Putting it all together, I really like the new front end of the Impreza. It just looks a little bit more modern than the previous version. Now coming around the side here, our tire wheel setup is 205, 55, 16 in the front and over in the rear. And again, even though these are baseline wheels, I actually think they look pretty good. The fender there, that looks pretty cool. And then look at the mirror cap. This is gonna be really good for rock chips and everything. Obviously, if it was painted, that's gonna show a bunch of them, but this, I can take a hit. And then you guys can see the normal door handles there on the side. And then here's your full side view with the Impreza, and this is where you can see the hatchback design. And then here's the key fob for the Impreza. You got the Subaru logo there, lock, unlock, and then the unlock for the hatch. And popping into the hatch, you guys can see that there is plenty of storage space in the back, and that's one of the benefits of hatchback vehicles. And if you need more storage space, you actually can throw down these seats. You just have these little buttons that you basically can pull, and then that'll unlatch the seat, and then you can just throw it forward. And when you're all done, just plop. Now here are the new taillights. I think the design there is pretty cool, and then you guys can see all the badges here on the back. And putting it all together, I think the design team at Subaru did a really good job with this new Impreza. Now taking a look at the door panel here, you guys can see we've got padding down below where you'd rest your arm. And then we've got cloth seats with this particular package. I like all the colors though, it kind of brightens it up. And then legroom here in the back is actually really good for such a small car. And then you guys can see we have I guess a little blank panel there, which is interesting. But anyways, head over back here, it's also good. Now taking a look at the front door panel, you've got cloth trim here, and then you got the padding down below, and I like how it kind of squishes in. Anyways, all of our window controls front two are actually automatic, which is really cool. Your mirror adjustments, and then there's a quick look at the mirrors themselves. And then here's the front seat you guys can see with all of the cloth trim there, and then the seat itself is manually adjustable. One of these! Now taking a look at the steering wheel, you guys can see, again, more base with the materials, but not with the functions. We've got adaptive cruise control as well as steering assist. We've got volume controls, voice command controls, you know, all the works. Turn signal light stock and then windshield wiper stock. And so, yeah, I'd say pretty good tech here. Now in the center, we've got a mostly analog gauge cluster. We do have that little screen there in the center, which you can use to kind of scroll through different bits of info on the car and stuff within the car itself. And then when we pop the Impreza in reverse, we do get a backup camera with trajectory lines that turn off the steering wheel, and resolution is actually really sharp. Now as for the rest of the infotainment system itself, you've got this top screen right here with the radio and all of that. You guys can see the volume and tuner controls on either side. And then we have this bottom screen here with the climate controls here. I guess this is like our vehicle screen, and that is our media screen right there, hence like all of the media buttons there in between. But I've not seen anything like this in quite some time in the car industry, so it's kind of interesting to see this. Let me know what you guys think about this whole double screen unit. We've got some charging port action right here, and then you guys can see the shifter for that CVT. We've got our parking brake, some cup holder action, and then we got a little 12-volt as well. And then look at the lid for the center console here. Good storage inside. And then glove box, which also has good storage. And look at the trim that goes across. That's also really nice. And then finally, we have a manual mirror dimmer and then just a lighter colored headliner. So here's our window sticker for the Impreza. You guys can see 2024. There's all of your standard equipment and your warranty information. Base MSRP, we've got a few options added to this. Total MSRP, $24,876, and let's see how it drives. Well, let's talk about visibility before we set off. Here's visibility over the hood, both of the mirrors, and throughout the rest of the rear. And with that being said, we are finally going to be able to drive the new Impreza. Well, actually setting off in the Impreza, and I do want to mention before we start this, is that I do plan on reviewing more packages with the Impreza, so not just this baseline package. But with that being said, I mean, initially, I think this thing actually drives like super, super well. It's very comfortable with the suspension. And I mean, seat comfort's also really good. And on top of that, what I've noticed so far is this 2-liter is actually pretty dang torquey. Like it's got more than enough power to like get the car up and moving. So I think that Subaru's done a really good job with the tuning on this, at least with the low speed that I've done so far. We'll see getting up onto the interstate kind of how things feel. But I really do like the acceleration feel so far. Steering's really good too, actually. It's light, but it's direct. Yeah, good torque. I mean, this is not like super quick, but it moves. Okay, so getting up and moving. Okay. So I am pulling back from the throttle a little bit. I mean, for the segment that this is in, it's reasonable with the power. Obviously, if you want, you know, quicker acceleration, then you're going to go for like the RS version. I'll have to see what the acceleration feels like with that when I have a chance to test one, but I'm sure the 2.5 will be a bit punchier. But it's very comfortable on the highway, and staying up to speed is really easy, actually. So I think they've done a pretty good job overall with this. So yeah, let's get into summing things up. Going around that corner there, it actually handles pretty dang well. So as I was saying, summing things up here with the new Impreza. It honestly is basically just an improvement on the previous version. On the exterior, it looks better. I think that's pretty, I think that's without argument. It's a better looking car on the outside. The interior looks better, feels more modern, feels nicer. So you got a more premium feel with the interior, and it drives really well. Suspension's comfortable. Around town, it's got more than enough power, more than enough torque. It is, you know, lacking a little bit when it comes to, you know, highway acceleration and all of that. But with that being said, again, they make a more powerful version. So overall, as an affordable, daily drivable, you know, all 4 seasons, you know, car, I don't know what's happening here. Okay, anyways, as an affordable daily driver, all 4 seasons car, I think this is a really good value. And again, for less than $25,000, this is literally half the price of the average brand new car. Like, this is just, again, a really good value. Let me know what you guys think about the new Impreza, but I think it's a great car overall.